Hello and welcome to Lisbon. It is my pleasure today to show you a little bit of my favorite city in Portugal, as well as one of the top hotels we have in the city. And who am I? Who are we? My name is Eduardo Neves. I started Portugal Travel Team 25 years ago, and it's our pleasure to celebrate this year 25 successful years in business as a DMC. These 25 years, to me, they seem like yesterday. We've had some very good years. We've had a few not as good. And of course, the pandemic years, for all of us, have been quite challenging times. But we can see now light at the end of the tunnel, so that's another good reason to celebrate. And over these lockdown times, we have not stopped. I mean, we stopped, of course, organizing our programs, but we have been doing other things. We started the certification on sustainability, and this has been very interesting and very important for our team. We've all had and still have training on sustainability on different areas, so this will be fun when we finish the certification, which we expect to have by the end of this year. We are launching a new website very, very soon, and we are also changing the way we work on social media, so we will be much more active in that sense from now onwards. And another reason to celebrate, all our team have had the vaccine, and Portugal is already reaching the herd immunity, so these are all good reasons to celebrate, even though we're just obviously coming out of the pandemic. Over these years, there was always something that in a way worried me. I always thought that if I put myself in your shoes, I would feel the need to certify myself about this company. So in order for you to be able to check how reliable are we, how our financial situation is, especially nowadays, many years ago I decided to submit our accounts to Dun & Bradstreet every year, so we do have a DUNS number. We also managed to certify the management system of the company, which is very important because it creates a certain discipline in the processes, and it also gives us the possibility to monitor your satisfaction with our proposals and with our delivery. And at the same time, we are able to check the performance of our suppliers, change suppliers if needed, or just discuss with them and improve the services that they are providing to us and of course to you and your clients. So this has been something we have done over the years. We also, many years ago, changed our public liability insurance to 2 million euros, which I think is quite important. It would be very important for me if I was on your side, and I think it's important for you too. So this is what we have been doing all these years and what we have been doing during the lockdown days. Now let's have a look at Lisbon, and afterwards I'll tell you what we're going to see after Lisbon. Thank you and enjoy the video. Here we are in one of my favorite spots in Lisbon, where you can have a really good idea of what the city is like. If you look down, you'll see Park Edward VII. It's one of the largest parks in the city. And down there by the river is the city centre. It's the old part of the city. Lisbon was born along the river, so all our old hotels are located down there. And what do we have from here all the way down? We have the avenue, the main avenue, which used to be a closed park as well, but now it's open. We have there all the designer shops, we have several hotels. It's a very, very busy road, and it's a very interesting one to walk down. Walk down when you are staying at the Ritz. See the Ritz up there? The Ritz is in fact the Four Seasons, so don't get it confused with the Ritz-Carlton. So we can walk down there, we have all these shops. On the left of the valley you have the walls of the castle. See the castle where Lisbon was born. That castle was conquered in 1147 by our first kings. And on the right hand side you have another hill It's several, that's why we have lots of shops, lots of restaurants, lots of bars, nightlife. It's a very, very busy and very interesting area with lots of new things for us to enjoy and experience. So, as I said, one of my favorite spots in the city. This is the heart of Lisbon, Museu Square. Up there, that's a church, and that's the church of a convent of the 12th century. It was destroyed by the earthquake, a big earthquake we had in 1755, and the church was never rebuilt. The convent next to it, to the right, yes, it was, but the church, no. So nowadays it's a museum, and it's one of the most fantastic places in Lisbon to have a gala dinner. But it's very, very exclusive. They never take more than 5 events per year. And all the streets going down, all of this square as well, all these buildings, everything was rebuilt after the earthquake. 1755, all of it was destroyed. There was not just the earthquake, there was after the earthquake a big fire and a tsunami. So we had it all in one day. We call the tuk-tuks. These are the ones we use, these two here. They are electric. We have quite a lot of those, and they are the best way to travel around the city center because we have a lot of restrictions with big buses in this area of the city. And the streets are very narrow anyway, so this is one way that is better than sitting in a bus, and we can just go practically everywhere with it. I told you I would show you one of the secrets of Lisbon. Here we are. I'm going to get some gloves. This is the biggest shop you'll find in Lisbon. I've got new gloves for the winter. New gloves. Something special in Lisbon. This building used to be a very large market, the market that used to distribute fruit, vegetables to all the small shops in Lisbon, and this is in the old days. So it was the distribution market of Lisbon, which nowadays, of course, is outside of the city. So what did we do here? It was completely renovated. The concept was brought by Time Out magazine. And since this one has become such a huge success, they have created the same kind of concept in other cities in the world. But this was the first one, and here we have everything you can imagine. You can buy just a pastel de nata, which is our famous cut of cake, and a coffee, or you can have a gourmet meal by a famous chef with Michelin stars even. So you have all these stores around the market. You pick a table. There are no reservations here. You pick a table, you go around. First, before you pick the table, you go around. You choose what you want to have. And then you go pick a table, go collect your food, and then you eat and have a good time. So that's what it is. And this is unique. This is really, really a good time for anybody visiting the city or visiting the region, because this is a good way to spend an afternoon, or have some drinks or something to eat before the evening. It's something that is suitable for when people are having a free time, because as I said in the beginning, there are no reservations here. We cannot pre-book anything here. This is for individual people to come and enjoy it. That's it. Where there used to be very old factories that were abandoned throughout the years. The buildings are still down there, and some years ago this was turned into an area where we have lots of different artists' galleries. We have a lot of different shops, from the usual kind of shops you find, a lot of handicrafts, but more than handicrafts. And also lots of restaurants and lots of cafes, and a very nice bar. On top of that building up there, we have a huge bar up on top overlooking the river, so it's really a nice place to walk around, to do some shopping, to have a meal. And remember the name, LX Factory. LX is it's our short for Lisbon. Let's go around, have a look. This is Kelm's Palace. This is one of the most beautiful palaces we have, very close to Lisbon. It's only about 20 minutes away, and it's very close to Sintra or Cascais, where your groups could also be staying, another 20-25 minutes. And of all the royal palaces we can use, and we have quite a few we can use, all different, this one is the one with the largest capacity. We can have, in the same room, up to 220 people having dinner in the main noble room. So it's an 18th century palace. It's beautifully decorated. It has fantastic gardens. We can do a dressage show with the Royal Equestrian School of Portugal outside during the cocktail in the gardens, followed by the dinner. And yeah, it's amazing, and it's very, very, very traditional kind of thing in Portugal. Today I came to Óbidos with some company. We have Ivy with us. Ivy. She's our dog. She's desperate to go back to the office.
Ivy.
Hello.
Ivy.
Say hi. There's lots of little stores. You can spend time, buy some souvenirs. And here we are at Quinta do Sanguinhal, just more or less 1 hour from Lisbon. 4th generation, it's a family estate. This is Anna. Anna runs the place, so she's going to talk to you.
Hi. So, welcome to Quinta do Sanguinhal. Actually, this is one of the 3 quintas that belong to our family company. This is a business that started actually when my great-grandfather had this idea of producing wine in this region. Since this was a region he knew well, he was already buying a lot of wine from local producers and selling in Lisbon. So before he moved to the countryside, he was actually successful and known distributor in Lisbon, and then he decided it was time to start his own wine production, and he had the opportunity to buy 3 quintas: Quinta do Sanguinhal, where we are, Quinta de São Francisco, and Quinta das Cerejeiras. And maybe you wonder what quinta means. Quinta means farm, but also 1/5. Since when we had a monarchy, we had to pay our king 1/5 of our production. So it was a common tax. 20% was what we had to give back. So I'll invite you to join me in this tour and tell you a bit more about our family history and of course about our lovely wines.
Again. Now we're going to visit the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons is in fact in Portugal the Ritz. The Ritz is a hotel from 1959. It's a very iconic hotel in the city, and it has gone through major renovations. It still is going through major renovations, and I'm going to show you something of what they have been doing in hotel. So with me we will have Carmen Dolores, she's the Associate Director of Sales and Marketing, and Henri Poudançat, who's been in Portugal for more than 20 years. and he's the Director of Sales and Marketing. We're going to walk a little bit through the hotel and see what new things they have done, and afterwards I'll tell you a little bit more of what we're going to do in the future.
In my case, I've been here for 21 years. Well, actually, I moved here from the Georges V in Paris, and I was originally planning to stay here for 2 years. And here I am, 3 kids later, a wife later, a house later. Here I am in Lisbon, and like many French people that have actually moved to Lisbon along the past 5 years, fell in love with the destination, great quality of life, great place to raise kids, and so 21 years.
We're very happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
So
it.
tell us where we are.
So we are currently standing in one of the most emblematic space in the hotel. It's really in the heart of the hotel. It's called the Almana Negreiros Lounge. It's named after a famous Portuguese artist, Almana Negreiros. I'm sure that you know. That has been commissioned when the hotel opened. Actually, the owners commissioned all the most famous Portuguese artists from the 50s and 60s to do specific piece of art for the hotel. In paintings, beautiful murals, tapestry. And here in that space we have a trilogy of tapestry, which is called actually the trilogy of the Centaur. And me as a typical French,
Of course.
do you know an expression that is ménage à trois in French? I know. Okay, so you understand the meaning of it.
I know the meaning.
So if you want actually to show that tapestry to our friends, if you look close at tapestry from Almana Negreiros that was made specifically for the opening of the hotel, you see those 3 personages, and you see this kind of centaur hiding behind a tree, spying on, and you can make your own story, either on his wife and her lover, or whatever combination. So the real name is the centaur. I call it ménage à trois. So here we're sitting actually in one of the newly renovated floor. And really what I wanted to touch as a point is really the work that has been done so on these new floors. First of all, talking a little bit about the decoration companies that have been appointed by the owners. Unlike some hotels that tend to pick those famous hotel designers that have done thousands of hotels throughout Asia, Europe, and America.
They all look the same?
They all, well, I wouldn't say anything. But in our case, actually, they appointed actually a Portuguese company. It's a decoration architectural firm from the north of Portugal called Oito and Ponte. They are actually half French, half Portuguese. They are a couple. And what I like about them is that they really are more specialized in doing beautiful residences, beautiful villas, apartments for very wealthy people in France, in Portugal, and a bit all around the world. So I think that you can feel it through the renovation. You feel that kind of residential feel to it. It doesn't look like a hotel room. It doesn't more look like almost a home room. And you're going to see that and appreciate that when I'm going to walk into the room, which we're going to do right now.
Okay.
Just to give a story about those armchairs, by the way, those armchairs were in the hotel in 59 when we opened the hotel. They were in one of the function room of the hotel called the Salon Marquês de Pombal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. That's what they did. They spent a lot of quality time going through all the archive of the hotel, looking at all those beautiful black and white pictures of the hotel, just to make sure that they were not going to be seen and perceived as destroying the heritage of the Ritz. So what they did is actually that they spotted here and there beautiful furniture that were here when the hotel opened in 59. I'm going to highlight actually 3 of them. 3 or 4. First of all, those chairs. Those chairs that have a pure 50s design, mid-centuries. Amazing ones. They actually found them on a black and white picture because they were the chairs that were in the gaming room of the hotel. So in the early 19th century, in all those iconic hotels on the French Riviera in London, you always had a gaming room where all the aristocracy would go and play cards.
Yeah.
And we had such room here.
Yeah.
And in that room, we had those chairs that were stored somewhere in the hotel that almost everybody had forgot about it.
And they found them.
And they found them. And they found them and they decided to reedit it and incorporate it in the new rooms. That's one example. And that's eventually one furniture that we're going to allow our guests to buy and to order. The other one is that lamp here that we have on the desk, which also was made specifically for the opening of the hotel. Again, very mid-century style that has been reedited and incorporated in the new rooms. The other one actually is the bedside table. So remember that bedside table here, because I'm going to refer to it in a few seconds. Where I'm going to show a junior suite Again, very squared 50s design, quite interesting layout. The other thing that I wanted to point out is the carpet. So that carpet, again, it's not a carpet that is found in a catalog of a hotel carpet provider. No, it's a carpet that was designed specifically for that renovation, because I'm going back to the art collection of the hotel. There is another of the famous tapestry of the hotel, which is called Olisipo, which is the old name of Lisbon. And that tapestry represents the main square of Lisbon, Praça do Comércio, and the Tagus River. And on the Tagus River, you've got those beautiful waves design, and that's actually the replica of those waves, from the Tagus River on this tapestry. So a lot of
the tapestry itself is beautiful, and this is a fantastic idea. It looks really,
it's really
great and unique. It's unique.
It's totally unique.
You know what I think about this room?
Tell me.
I think it's discreetly sophisticated. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree. Fully agree. Yeah. There is a level of sophistication.
That's the feeling I have. I'm moving in here, by the way.
Fine, whenever you want to know it, brother. Okay, let's go on the terrace, because that's another. Well, first of all, size of the rooms, because I think that when you are a group, that's super important.
You can have about, 10, 15 people.
That I don't know, to do a big party, especially nowadays. But the size of the room, that's another unique selling point of the hotel. The hotel was built as a hotel since the beginning, which means that the smallest room that you can ever have in this hotel is 42 square meter, which is 450 square feet. Smallest, guaranteed. So we don't have like this hidden small room that is in a corner that someone from your group is going to get at the end. No, smallest that you can
450
get.
feet.
450 square feet.
And this one?
This one is actually 480 square feet.
Yeah, and this one.
And it's half of the inventory of the hotel.
Yes.
So really generous, half of the inventory. And the other half is actually the rest. Of course, I'm not taking into consideration it. Let's go outside. So that's another advantage of the hotel, is that all the rooms, I would say that we have a total of 282 rooms. Only 10 of them do not have this kind of terraces. So you see the view. I'm going to let you comment a little bit on the view. It's a nice day on top of that today.
It's a beautiful day. And we have the light of Lisbon, which is a very, very famous thing in the city. It's the kind of light we have. Now, later on, you will see what we're showing you from here. You see the top of the Edward VII Park up there, and then this is the park Edward VII. That building with a yellow facade in front of us is a huge venue that we can use for dinners, other functions. In the park there's also another venue inside the park, in fact, which is a garden, an interior garden that we can use for functions. This is a sports pavilion, a square with a statue of the Marquis of Pombal. That was the Prime Minister that rebuilt the city after the earthquake in 1755. And then look down there, they have a castle on top of the hill. That's where Lisbon was founded, in fact, and that castle was conquered by our first king in 1147. So this is just 4 years after Portugal was founded as an independent country. And the river, of course. The river is one of the most important things in our city, and not just in our city, also on the floor of the rooms of the Four Seasons.
To show you that room, is because that room is really dear to my heart, because for various reasons. First of all, because I love what it is, the Junior Suite, but also because it's actually the suite that is behind all the inspiration for the renovation. You remember, Gonzalo, that I asked the viewers to remember when I was showing that bedside table in the room that we just showed.
Yes.
That bedside table was already in that room, in that suite, in 59.
Okay.
So that bedside table was actually inspiration behind this old mid-century story that we decided to elect, or we, the decorator, decided to elect to drive and to be behind all the renovation that took place in the hotel. So this is a junior suite, very elegant. You see the few pieces of furniture that you have in the room that we just saw. You see those beautiful chairs, also very mid-century. This beautiful piece of furniture here, with kind of honey color. So quite interesting. You find again this beautiful carpet with the famous wave from the Tagus River. So a nice space to live. It's our entry category of suite.
And I like all the details you've got. Like, you know, this thing for the port and top.
Exactly.
Yeah. Of course, you know, the top one is not an American measure, right?
Uh-huh.
The American one is that.
Uh-huh.
This is the Portuguese one.
Do you want to explain what is the port tonic?
Yes, it's white port, dry white port, mixed with tonic and with some herbs, different kinds of herbs. And it's a very, very refreshing long drink that we drink a lot in Portugal. And we always suggest it for the cocktails.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's really nice to have.
Because usually foreigners know port for the, not
They
really
know
for
red.
the white, exactly, for the
They
red.
don't know the white. Yeah.
And they don't know the white one. We have the recipe for the people to do their own port tonic in when they come into the hotel. You may want to have a look at the bathroom. So really, Eduardo, I think that's really what I wanted to share, especially regarding the renovation of the room and the suite. So just to kind of summarize a little bit, so we have 3 floors that have already reintegrated the inventory of the hotel since May. So those ones are designed in this kind of very mid-century style. We're currently working on 4 additional floors that are currently being renovated as we speak, and that part of the renovation, which is contest, would be finish, I would say, beginning of October. The style might be a little bit different. We're going to go more like Art Deco, which was another style that was present when the hotel opened. So it's going to be interesting because we're going to offer the possibility for our clients to either choose the mid-century style or the Art Deco style. So, as I said, mid-October. So by mid-October, we will have 7th floor out of the 10 of the hotel that will be fully renovated.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's when we think we hope that we will have, you know, we'll be able to travel easily without any restrictions, considering how fast the vaccination is going.
I think that along the past 3 weeks, Portugal has really increased the speed to such a level, which is incredible. The second thing is that we are one of the countries in Europe that has the largest number of tests per habitant, actually.
And that's another thing, very important. We have very few people, tiny percentage of people who actually do not want to get the vaccine.
But that's the point. That's why we pass in front of everybody.
Everybody wants that.
That's exactly that. That's why actually a lot of the countries that eventually at some points were above us in terms of percentage are now stagnating because they are facing the resistance of a portion of their population.
Yeah.
While the Portuguese, and you know why I'm French, so I can speak freely about that, are super disciplined. When you tell them to do something, they just stick to it and cut to it. They are so disciplined that we are not facing that resistance, and that allows us to pass in front of all those countries, which is a great thing.
I don't know, it's not just a kind of discipline, it's not just that. I think we just realize that for us to move forward and to be able to move around freely and to be able to welcome the people that we're used to welcoming safely, we need to do that.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, so that's like conversation. So, we'll see each other later.
Yeah, let's
And
go.
that ends our visit of the rooms.
Yes. Bye, Gonçalo.
be very interesting in terms of what a group can envision when they come to the hotel and how the functionality is within the hotel. So follow me, Eduardo, let's go see the functions. Let's go. I'm just going to show you here off the lobby as well, which is a great idea. So it's a newly renovated function room. It's called the boardroom. We actually have 13 function rooms, small like this, small and a little bit bigger.
And what do we have here?
I wanted to show you the brand restaurant as well, just because in terms of also location-wise, and now we can actually privatize it for group dinners. It's got a beautiful setting, large windows, it overlooks the park. It's a very emblematic function space or restaurant, and it's got a nice access to the outside terrace.
Okay, good. Let's go to the ballroom then.
As you can see, Eduardo, this is the grand ballroom. Just from the above the upper gallery, you have this amazing room, which is very, I would say, spectacular when you think of function spaces in hotels. Ceiling heights are 18 feet high. It's 5,000 square feet. I mean, it's just one of those, natural daylight outside terraces. So you can actually do, the coffee breaks outside. You can have your attendees going on the upper gallery downside to the lower foyer. In terms of flooring, it's wood, so it's very, even in terms of doing a gala dinner, you can have a general session, but you can do the final night gala dinner in the ballroom. So let's just take a peek.
You need just some time to change the setup.
Exactly. So let's just take a peek from the bottom, which gives you a completely different perspective.
Hotel in Lisbon.
Yes.
It's really fantastic. And it can be covered.
It can be covered. So all the flooring is heated. You've got this water feature in the middle. You also have the windows that, depending on the weather, if it's a little bit windy, you can close it up and you've got limited wind coming in. If it's a little bit too hot, you can open it up. And again, you can have airflow going in and out. On the top, you've got air conditioning. So we can actually cover it with a tent. It's prepared to be covered with a tent. So you can actually do, events even in the winter. Because again, as I mentioned, the flooring is heated, so it doesn't feel like you're, out underneath the rain, in the cold atmosphere. No, it can be nicely, very intimate, and it's a nice area, and it's a great terrace. Remember, I mentioned the outdoor pool, which is opening on the 1st of August. We're very excited about this. So you've got this beautiful outdoor pool. The pool's actually heated, and you've got music underneath, so even for public ones, it's very, very exciting.
I want to swim here.
You've got the relaxation beds. We're opening a new restaurant also, so that can service the area of the pool. Again, remember I mentioned we've got the garden terrace, but we can also use this whole entire garden terrace and the pool section for welcome reception, for walking around, past food. So this is an option also, as another location for a reception that people can enter.
So it's, in terms of capacity, it's just amazing.
It's amazing. So here,
we don't have any other place in Lisbon with this kind of capacity.
And around
with this quality as well. And,
yes.
The beauty of the gardens and everything.
So around the pool we can do around about, I would say 80, 100, but then the extension of the terrace, in total we just spoke about it when we were in the floor, 1,000 people, which is amazing for us in a hotel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So it's an urban city feel.
So I hope you have enjoyed the visit of the hotel and Lisbon. It has been a pleasure for us to introduce to you the city and the renovations in the Ritz Four Seasons. And the only thing I can say now is I hope that next time you have a visit of Lisbon, it will be a personal one, not a virtual one. It's about time to start moving around. It's about time to start traveling. It's about time for us all to meet again in person, and it will be our pleasure to welcome you in Lisbon, to show you the city, to show you the whole country, to show you everything we have to offer to you and to especially to your clients during our incentive programs. And so thank you for watching us, thank you for your time. See you soon in Portugal.